Hey guys, Kishiryu here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Kishiryu Series 07 Ryusou Gattai Deluxe Kishiryu Neptune from Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. This is Ryusou Gold's partner Kishiryu, which can transform into his own personal robo and combine with other Kishiryu. This set includes Mosasaurus, 2 Ammo Knuckles, and 1 Ryusou. So, let's get started. First up, let's take a look at the included Gold Ryusou. So this has the same design as the one that came with the Mosasaurus Changer, but one detail I want to note on that I incorrectly noted in my review of that was that the eyes are actually a metallic pink instead of metallic red, keeping with the trend of all the main Kishiryu having different colored eyes. Here we have it in Soul Mode, where it's based on the Mosasaurus, and then we flip it up into Night Mode, where it has the same details and paint apps. For level comparison, here it is next to the one that came with the Mosasaurus Changer, and while they are pretty much identical, it might just be me imagining it, but it seems to me that the plastic color used for the one that comes with Mosasaurus is just slightly paler than the one that comes with the Mosasaurus Changer, and you can definitely see that the printing of the sticker on the one that came with the Changer is more vibrant than the one that comes here with the mech. On the back, you can see that they have different pin sets, so they'll make different sounds. And a common detail that seems to be shared between these is that for the one that comes with the Changer, it has larger and bigger eyes. Larger, more filled in eyes, rather. While the ones on the one for the mech come with more narrow eyes with more black surrounding them. Next, we'll test this version of the Gold Ryusou with the Ryusou Changer and Ryusoulger. So first up, the Changer. And then the sword. And similar to the red Ryusou that came with Kishiryu, this Gold Ryusou has a sound basically calling out for a Ryusou Gattai. Next up, we'll take a look at Mosasaurus and the Ammo Knuckles. First up, we have Mosasaurus, who's based on the Mosasaurus, an ancient aquatic lizard, who's brought into the public consciousness thanks to the movie Jurassic World. Like with Ryusou Gold, his main color scheme is gold and navy blue. Starting from the head, you've got the metallic pink eyes, with some nice details for the armored skull plate, as well as on the bottom side. Like with Kishiryu, he has a lot of teeth, and you can open up his mouth very wide, since he has joints in both the top and bottom jaws. Moving on to the body, you've got his front fins, kind of front arms, which fold back like this, or hang back. And he has these fins on the sides, as well as little details here, meant to resemble trident heads. We have the rest of the body, where you can see also bits of black and silver. And right along the tail, coming to some back fins, and then the proper tail tip. On the bottom, we've got a lot more detail, including a little bit of more details to add to the arms. You also have its 2 support drones, the Ammo Knuckles, who are based on ammonites. Prehistoric cephalopods had shells, and were the basis for not only the Gurumanite Judenshi in Kyoryuger, but also the Pokemon Omanite and Omastar. These ones are mainly navy blue with some black shells, little tentacles coming out the front, and some yellow eyes. Now, these are out of the box separate from Mosasaurus, but if you want, you can store them on Mosasaurus via either these connector joints on the front, which are probably meant to be something like torpedo launchers. So I've got that. Or, on the sides, thanks to these Ryusou joints. So you can store them back there. After that, let's transform Mosasaurus and combine it with the Ammo Knuckles. So first up, we'll change the gold Ryusou into night mode. Flip around Mosasaurus, open his mouth all the way, and take our Ryusou, place it in his mouth, and close it down. Then, we'll rotate the head 90 degrees clockwise, and turn it upwards. We'll attach the tip of the tail, and split up the body to form the legs. We'll rotate the fins upwards. Then, coming to the upper torso, we'll rotate down the arms 180 degrees. Take the Ammo Knuckles, turn them inwards, and then plug them onto the joints to create the fists, hence Ammo Knuckles. Then, we'll take the tail tip, which has now become a trident piece, place it in the right hand, then split open Mosasaurus' head to reveal the face. And here we have Kishiryu Neptune. So let's take a closer look. Starting off, we now properly see the head placed into the body, where we note the trident-like visor, which does share the same kind of color scheme as the rest of the body, being mostly navy blue, with gold for the armor bits. Mosasaurus' head has now become this very large collar, which sticks out from the side, and give it quite a bit of height over just the head. Like with Kishiryu Neptune has a very sleek and streamlined design, especially thanks to how the legs split up. You see, it's got a very strong trident motif, with the trident details on the arms, of course the crown, as well as the new trident weapon. Which is fitting, as this is named after Neptune, the Roman name for the Greek god Poseidon, who was god of the sea. You can see it's got some nice scale details for the shin armor. The Ammo Knuckles actually make for very good fists, since these curl similar to curled fists. And you can even see that's got a little bit of detail molded in to resemble thumbs. The trident does have a good amount of heft to it, and you do have the 3 points here at the top. Though, with the way this is done, of course using the Ryusou joint system, you can modify a little bit. For example, turning the fists like this. Since in the series, Kishiryu Neptune can fire the Ammo Knuckles similar to a kind of rocket punch. Though since it does it underwater, it's more like a torpedo punch. And it even looks sleek from the back. Though obviously from the back you can see that it's the Ryusou in there. As far as the articulation goes, thanks to the way joints work, the arms can move 360 degrees, though they are blocked by the collar a little bit. But additionally, thanks to the way this transforms, the head has actually a bit of rotation, though the collar always has to come with it. But there is some articulation that you couldn't get with Kishiryu, so that's a nice little bonus. For our next combination, we'll combine Mosasaurus with Demon Volcano. So, for starters, I'm going to slightly disassemble Demon Volcano, Attaching the back piece but leaving the tail on. Then removing the head, the armor piece as it's called, and splitting up the body. Then for Mosasaurus, I'm going to detach the arms, which are also on Ryusou joints, as well as the head from the body. So starting off with this piece, we'll take the sail and tail of Mosasaurus and connect it to this piece using the 4 Ryusou joints up here, and then the 2 Ryusou joints down here, which quite snugly fit together. Then we'll take the 2 halves of the volcano's body, flip them around so you have these lightning pieces facing outwards. Attach them onto the sides, connecting the silver Ryusou joints together. Next we'll take the Emma knuckles and attach them to these ports to create the feet. And it'll fall backwards for now. Next, I'm going to take the volcano's head, flip it around, take the arm pieces, attach them to the sides, like so. Then, take the arms and rotate them down so that they're like this. Attach them down here, where Mosasaurus' head used to be. And we'll take Mosasaurus' head, attach this piece on top, plug it onto this joint here, and flip up this fin. And here we have the combined Kishiryu Spino Thunder, based of course on the Spinosaurus. So let's take a look. It's definitely quite something to take 2 Kishiryu and combine them together into a whole new one. And surprisingly, the combination is actually pretty cohesive. You of course have the head here, with this new crest that rises up, which goes back into the body, with the trademark spine of the Spinosaurus, into this very large tail. You have the new arms down here, and you can actually see that the gold details here are for the sake of Spino Thunder's arms. And I feel like this does a pretty good job at hiding the fact that this is the Volcano's head upside down. Perhaps even so better than Kishiryu the Volcano. And we also finally have the reasoning for why these lightning bolt details are on the inner parts of the Volcano's body. To give it at least a little bit of electric detailing to show that that's its element. It does have a little bit of articulation. Of course, you do still have the opening and closing jaws, as well as the rotation, thanks to how it needs to transform. They also have a bit of rotation for the arms. And impressively, this will still hold its balance, even with these fins not being used as stabilizers. Now, before moving on to the next part of the video, I want to briefly bring in the Bitty Soul, and kind of explain why I said that, in my review of the Mosa Changer and Mosa Blade, this is based on the Spinosaurus, because this is basically meant to be the Ryusoul associated with Spino Thunder, as you can kind of tell from the elongated snout, as well as this crest on the snout. And in fact, if you use this with Spino Thunder, it actually does something pretty special. If we take it and insert it into the mouth while the crest is down, then close it, you'll actually see that doing so raises up the crest, completing the transformation. So in a way, this is kind of a hidden optional step. And doing so also prevents it from being depressed all the way. In it honestly feels like that was meant to be. It also doesn't really change too much about how it looks. And for the sake of the combination, this actually, I think, looks a little bit better if when you open the mouth you only use the bottom jaw, rather than the top. Especially if you have the Beady Soul inside. After that, we'll combine Tiramigo and Spino Thunder. And just seeing them together, you can see that they are very close in size. Though because of all the parts used, Spino Thunder technically has more mass. And for another quick comparison, you can see it compared to a medium-sized Kishiryu like Tiger Ants, or a small-sized Kishiryu like Tricane. But let's get started. First off, we'll take Tiramigo and do some of the same prep as we usually do for Kishiryu. But from here, things get a little bit different. I'm going to take off Tiramigo's head and create the Kamitsuki arm. Then, as opposed to putting it on the right, we'll put it on the left arm instead. Next, bringing in Spino Thunder, we're going to dismantle him quite a bit. In fact, we're basically going to dismantle him entirely. And we'll be discarding the Volcano's head, the Trident piece, and the Emma Knuckles, as they're not used for this combination. So next we're going to take the back half of Mosasaurus's body and split it in half alongside this joint. We'll take this connector and fold it inwards. We'll take the pieces, making sure that these fins are on the outside, and plug them onto the bottom of Kishiryu's feet. We'll take the fins and rotate them inwards so that they're on the front of the feet. Then, we'll take the arms, rotate them like so, and, making sure that the fins are this time inwards, plug them onto Kishiryu's knees. Moving upwards, we'll take Mosasaurus' head, rotate it all the way around so that these connectors are down here, plug it onto the right arm, then take our remaining cannon piece and use it to connect it to the arm like so. Then we'll take the bi-halves of the Volcano and plug them on top as the shoulder cannons. And I apologize if I'm fumbling, but admittedly, it can be a little bit tough to probably connect the pieces, although I was being a bit of a dum-dum as I had them facing the wrong way. Then, take the tail piece and the armor part, connect them using this joint here, plug them onto the chest, split open the tail, and then raise up the mask. And here we have Gigan Kishiryu. So let's take a look. Obviously, the big new details here are for the chest and head. On the head, we now see this big golden mask, which has a couple of flames sticking out the side, or these kind of crests, as they are surrounded by the flames of the volcano, with one being red and the other being navy blue. You also have the new mask, which comes down to a purple visor, and you can see the mouth of the red Ryusou sticking out through it. And of course, you can switch out the Ryusou if you'd like. So if you say take the gold Ryusou and put it in instead, not too much changes, that you can see that now this part in the middle has changed from red to gold. We also come down to the chest plate, which is again split into one half red, one half navy blue. And that's basically to split up or show the division of sides, with the left side having pieces of Tiramigo, and the right side having pieces of Mosasaurus. Though, because it has part of the body attached to it, it's a very bulky piece compared to the Kamitsuki arm here. That being said, you can still rotate it, and also change the orientation of the Tiramigo head for the Kamitsuki arm. So you can have both of them doing a biting attack. And additionally, we also get an extra bit of height and armor thanks to the pieces used on the bottom half that do give it a higher bit of structure. And while yes, there are some discarded pieces from Mosasaurus and the volcano, some of the times you just can't use every piece, although if you want to use at least a bit more in terms of pieces, you could permanently raise the arms up one notch, and then basically attach the ammo knuckles to the sides. So you can store them on this mech. And of course, it wouldn't be Ryusoulger without using the Ryusou joints for custom combinations. So for the final segment, I'll be showing you guys my custom combination of Kishiryu 5 Knights and Kishiryu Neptune. Now for starters, we are again using my custom version of 5 Knights for the combination, but I have made a couple of modifications. The first one is that for the Tiramigo weapon, I've used the default version of it with the legs facing downwards, and I've put the piece with the legs facing upwards here on the back. And you'll see why as we get further into this combination. So for the prep work, just a few steps. First is to remove the chest cannon and remove the drills. Take out the lance weapon and put Tiger Lance's head here on the back. Then coming around to the back, we'll detach this armor plate from the head back here. Then detach the other set of Tiger Rant's legs. And we'll flip this around. Plug this piece into here. Or rather, like so. Then, plug the cannon piece right down here. Then put it back on the back. So that was the sword out of the way. Then I'm going to set this aside for a bit and dismantle Kishiryu Neptune. And as we attach the arm, one thing I actually want to show you of importance is that to denote which way to attach the arms to the shoulders, you just have to line up these pieces here so as to know which way is which. So, for starters, we'll use the Gigan Kishiryu feet platforms. As well as the knees. Then, take the Amma knuckles like this, and plug them on top of the lower halves of Trichane and Ankylose. Then, coming to the chest, rotate the head of Mosasaurus like this, attach the drills to the sides of it, and plug this onto the front. And though normally something like this would probably cause it to fall forward, because of the stabilizer on the feet, it stays up just fine. Then, finally, we'll take the trident piece and plug it into this port on the arm. Then, take the lance weapon and plug it on top. And here we have my Kishiryu 6 Knights. While it does borrow elements from Gigan Kishiryu, I feel like this is the best way I could think of to make a cohesive combination of the 6 of them. While Gold's pieces aren't too prevalent, it does give us the added height as well as new knee pieces. The biggest thing I want to do here was to make this front and center, just to exemplify it within a combination, even if it does slightly cover up the face. And then we now have this new kind of double spear weapon here on the arm. And as you can see, the reason why I use this version, or this piece here, for the arms, is because that way it can actually stay up like this, whereas the legs here would collide with the head if I did otherwise. And while storing these pieces off to the side doesn't give too much to the way the look of the combination, it does give them a place to go. And I do think this is certainly a custom combination that turned out better than my Kishiryu Dime Volcano, or 5 Knights Dime Volcano. And there we go! So overall, Kishiryu Neptune is a very impressive mecha, though there is one part that I have a bit of mixed feelings on. Mosasaurus is a very impressive Kishiryu in its size and has some good details to it, as well as having a pretty dynamic transformation into Kishiryu Neptune, what with it basically eating the Ryusou in order to transform, and what we get is another sleek and cool looking combination. And while I did show off that it can be used to add to Kishiryu and the other Kishiryu, as you can see, it does have its own set of Kishiryu joints, so that you could add things onto it instead, again leading to even more possibilities for alternate combinations and custom combinations. Gigan Kishiryu is also an interesting combination. It's pretty neat, though I will admit that it's a little odd that it only uses red and gold mechs plus the extra mech so far. And the one part I'm rather iffy on my feelings towards is the Spino Thunder. While I understand why they chose to make it a combiner Kishiryu, since the Spinosaurus is a dinosaur that was very big and, as you can see, was comparable to the Tyrannosaurus in size, I'm just not so fond of the fact that it involved Dime Volcano to do it, because I feel like the fire parts and the orange color very much clashes with both the golden navy blue of Mosasaurus Rex, but also the idea of it being an electric elemental dinosaur. While it does have those little lightning bolts on the sides, I don't feel like that's enough, and I kind of wish that Bandai released basically a yellow electric version of Dime Volcano to use instead, so that would at least be a little bit more cohesive and coherent in the idea that this is both, an electric elemental Kishiryu and also one associated with the Biryu Soul. But overall, if you're collecting the Kishiryu series, this is one I can definitely recommend picking up and adding on. Next time, I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Jet Falcon and Deluxe Heli Falcon. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is Kishiryu Neptune, writing off.